Have you noticed as you get older, your patience just like, I have no patience as I get older, and I never understood until I got older that we don't like putting up with stuff. You know, we don't need to as we get older, I guess. You know, I guess I could just hardly wait, say, so I'm 63. In another 10 years, I'll be 73. And I really, really keep my fingers crossed that I am that cute little lady that's going across the crosswalk. And another person says, oh, look how cute she is. Instead of the little old lady that's beating up a man with her bag. You know what I'm saying? Although I would do that too. Or the cartoon character Maxine, when she put her shopping cart and both of her stocking feet had different colors of socks or patterns and hair and rollers, and she didn't care. You know, that's what I'm getting at. She didn't care. But this isn't what this video is about, so let's go on and talk about something else. I just think as we get older, older females, we come into a lot of medical things that you don't hear a lot of. A lot of, females might talk about symptoms. Yeah, I had hot flashes. Oh man, those suck. Or, things like that. But we don't have that intimate talk between men or women as far as how we feel or how our bodies are reacting or becoming as we get older. So I could go, my list is long, y'all, really. I was diagnosed with alpha-gal syndrome a year ago. It's been a year. And so let's throw in the factor of now you have pre-menopause, you have alpha-gal, you have, my pre-menopause years are way over, thank goodness. But let's just throw on some other things as we get older. You know what I mean? My mother never talked to me about going through the change. Everything that I know is something that I've experienced myself, or I had to do research. Because it's just things like that we don't talk about. I get up out of a chair and I'm starting to making all of these noises that shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? I wasn't expecting a lot of things, I guess. 10 years ago, I could have climbed a ladder, hammed a hammer, put in a roof. But now, as time goes by, I can no longer do those. And it doesn't help having alpha-gal. I wanted to also talk about that because it's almost like as I get older, all my medical crises are coming together. Instead of only having 2 or 3 medical issues, now I have 10. You know what I'm saying? Or take this drug to counteract this drug that doesn't work for this. Or whatever, right? So I'm not going to go too much into depth, but I could give you a little bit what's going on. So with the alpha-gal is a tick. Bit me and made me allergic to all red meats, including all byproducts, anything processed with bone char. I am now, I'm not vegan. I'm not, because I do eat chicken. So I'm not a vegan. But everything else, you might as well say I am, y'all. Even down to our hair products, my makeup is a vegan, my nail polish is vegan, deodorant's vegan, anything to not make me sick. And I mean sick, I mean sick. Someone had once asked, how do you know you have alpha-gal? How did you know before I was diagnosed? I didn't. I was diagnosed back in Denver, Colorado, back in, I don't know, maybe 2017 or so. Back in Denver, I was diagnosed with IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. Well, then I come out here and all new doctors, all new everything. And I was telling her, you know, because my stomach is hurt so bad to where I couldn't even, like, function, y'all, really. I would be sick for, you know, 1 or 2 weeks solid without having, you know, not being able to move or get out of bed. I didn't know what was going on. But anyway, they checked my IgE levels, which is your alpha gal. It's a sugar module. Can you believe that? They're trying to make it like a type 5 diabetes type thing because it does change your sugar level. It didn't change my sugar level, honey. It changed all my insides. They all flip-flopped. And thank goodness I don't have endometrius, because that's what it almost feels like. It's like all your insides are just constantly moving and contracting, and that's what my upper intestines do when I get in contact with anything like that. It goes like, and it's on, and you can feel it pushing against your skin or through your muscles. You could feel it, and it hurts. It'll bring me to my knees. Crying hurts. So anyway, where am I going with this? That's how I knew I didn't know I had alpha gal. I thought I had irritable bowel syndrome. My doctors here do believe that I've always had, or not always, but when I was diagnosed in Denver with IBS, my doctors here are thinking that I had alpha gal at that time, because it's such a new disease. It is a really new disease. They didn't find it in 2020. Our cases are climbing every day. You know, we're getting states that have to report when an alpha gal case has been confirmed. They have to now report it, which is, I believe, North Carolina became our next state that did that. I went into a drugstore this morning to pick up some prescriptions, and there was a whole wall just for alpha gal medicine and supplements. I was so impressed, so impressed. I have not had McDonald's or fast foods are a big no-no here. Big no-no. Only because we don't know what's in the products. The food is slowly poisonous. It's poisoning us slowly. So if it comes like, we don't eat a lot of packaged or canned foods per se. We don't know what's in them. Our diet's very clean. Where am I going with this? Oh, yes. So not only am I facing like all of this right, I became sunshine reactive. I get really sick when I'm in the sun. I have to wear like long sleeves. Come summer, last summer was a burial. I didn't do a lot of filming last summer because I was just sick. Like, it's hard to film out, you know, building a tiny house, or, you know, working on the garden or building the greenhouse, because I guess I'm turning into a vampire, so to speak. So what had happened during the time of all of this is my last blood test had revealed that I have it's like basement level vitamin D. I have no vitamin D. I don't get enough sunshine. So they put me on some vitamin D vitamins. And that's hard too, because all of our capsules are made out of gelatin. And of course, gelatin's made out of bone, animal bone, which I can't have. You know, my husband's a little bit better at it because he just takes his and just pops them apart and eats one side and doesn't eat the capsule. I can't do that. That's nasty. I'm not doing that. So I will specifically let my pharmacist knows that I am alpha gal. So all my medicines have to be a vegan prepared. I think that would be the best way to put it. So now let's talk about, I got a whole list, y'all, that I don't want to go into, but I was going to talk about our health problems as we get older, right? It's just, instead of one or two health problems, now I have 10. I don't know if it's declining health. It's not. You know, the alpha gal, a lot of people believe that we're man-made, released into the population through ticks from some lab in Rhode Island. So that's like a man-made chemical warfare, y'all, on a little old lady like me. That's what I feel like. So it is 5:15 in the evening. I'm just waking up just a while ago. Got my coffee. It wasn't too sunshiny. We did get up this morning at an Alpha Gal episode where it just brought me to my knees. I was down. I was down for the count. Was able to like pull myself together enough to go out in public. I try not to. I never go out to like Walmart in my pajamas. I haven't achieved that yet. Give me time. Right? In another 5 years, I'm sure that's, I hope not, but I never know. I try to get myself put together, you know, as far as makeup, hair, even if I'm in sweats. I just started being comfortable enough to going out in public in sweats. That just started happening in the last couple of years. I didn't do that. You just did in the house in sweats. So now I'm that way with pajamas, so I haven't gotten quite there yet. In our neck of the woods, we're in rural Arkansas. Walmart's the social hub, y'all. If you don't want to see somebody, go to Walmart. You'll see everybody. Everybody's out at Walmart. So I wanted to make sure that I was cleaned up. You know, going out into public and running errands. We live in such a small town. I don't know. You know, I always make sure that my earrings are on. I got on my lip gloss. I'm cool. You know, just so I'm not, hair's done, yeah. As a matter of fact, I can't even dye my hair anymore, ladies, until I can find a vegan hair dye, I guess. It's just crazy, but, you know, getting up and making sounds. Oh my gosh, I tell you, my hormones were all over, you know, because no one talks about this. My mama didn't talk about this. So they also did a hormone level with me and put me on hormone drugs, but they put me on hormone drugs back in Denver. And she told me, my doctor did at that time, if you have any breast tenderness, discontinue use immediately. My body responded so well with the therapy, but my breast did not. So I had to discontinue it. 2 weeks ago, I went in and they did a hormone test and a whole full blood panel actually, so they actually found out I was vitamin D deficient, but she asked me about what hormone replacements I had been on since I'm 63. My doctor's not much younger than me, y'all, but anyway, they put me on a new one. We have a pharmacist out here who does she makes her own compound for your hormones. So this is the new stuff. It's 2 clicks, click, click, and you put it on your inside your thighs, not under your arm, but on the side of your arm, or on your stomach, once a day. And hopefully that'll help my hormones. You need a doctor's prescription for this. I was a little leery about trying it because I'm not into big pharma. I'm really not. Doggy wants to go outside. Excuses. I forgot where I was setting up that dumb puppy dog. He's not a dumb puppy dog. We love our puppy dogs. I can't remember where I was. Oh, the hormones, right? So now, let's talk about your thyroid. I have been hypothyroid for 40 years. And they're hoping the vitamin D will help my body also absorb that. I don't want to go in and have my thyroid removed. No, thank you. I do know I have a sleeping thyroid. It's been asleep for 40 years, y'all. I've been on the same medication 40 years, different. It all depends. You know, I got to go in like every 6 months for a blood draw. If I go into 2 blood draws and they're both consistent, then I can go without a year, which doesn't make sense. Because I was told that if you checked your thyroid today, it's going to be one level. You check it tomorrow, it's going to be another level. And then another and another. It's never the same. It doesn't stay the same. So hopefully the vitamin D will help my body start absorbing some of that medication as well. It's just like it snowballs. It really does. So we talked about the alpha gal. We talked about me becoming a real life vampire. The thyroid, hormones, making unnecessary noises when I stand up or sit down. Oh my goodness. It's not pleasant to go to sit down and you make an unladylike sound. Oh, that's terrible. And so it just, I don't know. These are supposed to be my golden years where I'm supposed to be enjoying life. My body doesn't let me enjoy life so much anymore. But it's getting better. It's getting better every day. So, now we could go on and talk about, other things that we're not told about as we get older, as females, You have to definitely have a loving, supportive husband behind you. Because if not, you're going to have a divorce. Straight up. Our hormones are all over the place. As we're going through the change. Well, no one talks about after. What comes after the change? Your body's going through changes. We know that. But what's going to happen after? Artificial hormones. Did they have this stuff on, back in the 1800s? Like, hypothyroidism or high cholesterol or... I'm high cholesterol too, y'all. So, and I don't believe in taking statins. I've never been one for statins. But now they're telling me that I gotta take them because my cortisol level at night making me fat. Honey, that ain't making me fat. What's making me fat is the food I'm eating, which I'm trying to not eat. So, I'll tell you a little bit what happened is I had an allergy panel done, found out that I could have dairy. Game changer. Big game changer, right? I could have milk. I've always had eggs. I've never had a reaction to eggs. Milk, cheese, game on. So last night for dinner, I had cottage cheese with pineapple. That was my dinner, right? I paid for it this morning. it put me on my knees. I was out. That alpha-gal ain't no joke, y'all. It really isn't. Is that from becoming old age? No, that's, you know, I was supposed to be able to have the cheese, but my system did not like it. So I was telling Tim, not only have, you know, even though the allergy panel says that I'm not allergic to it, I found out my body still doesn't like it. And it was not good. So no more cottage cheese for this vampire. You know, it's, they just call it the sunshine drug. I don't know. I'm rambling on for 20 minutes on getting old, y'all. You know, I just need to make sure that my insurance is in check. You know, why I'm budgeting my Social Security to last me through the month. I have to make sure there's a buffer in there for any emergency care that I might need. Yeah, cover co-pays or, you know, medicines that are coming in or that are not covered by my insurance or whatever. You know, or even to help cover those unnecessary sounds. Everyone, thank you for listening to me on this one, ladies. We'll see you on the next one.